Welcome to DMOT Garage. We're back on the 57 Oval Ophelia, and in the last episode we were, well, literally just making it fall off because it was so badly rusted, but we've got these new little C channels now to using Macho. It's bloody heavy and I hate it, but it does a good job. You can see here I've already gone and spot welded this one in, and it worked really well. No issues with it. A couple of them did burn through, unfortunately, but it doesn't really matter. You can just putty it up. Yeah, so we've got the rounded section at the bottom. Now, unfortunately, the jaws are not going to be long enough to do down in this section here, so I'll probably only be able to get a couple here, and those ones I'll have to plug weld them, but no big deal. What we'll do now is get this side here tacked in and just clamp it into position first, and then we can use Mr. Macho there to do some welding. Okay, so we've got this pretty much in position where it's got to go. And yeah, let's see how Mr. Macho goes. Now, you do need to keep cleaning the tip because they get corroded from the welding process. Now, what I'm going to do is jump in the hole here, and that's going to be entertaining for somebody. Let's put you that way. Okay, let's go, Mr. Macho. Andy Savage with the march. Put a couple more, what the heck. Down the bottom here, and I'll have to hop out for that. Okay, so unfortunately I did try to spot weld this section here and it just wouldn't hold, just kept popping off. So I've resorted to doing plug welds, which is the only way we can do it. Which, you know what, all that was going to be plug welded anyway. It was only really this little section here, so not to worry. We're just going to go like that and zop it and zoop it and zap it and put it in. So we'll start off just here. We'll line up that first one. Righto, so as you can see here, I'm just clamping the piece and getting ready to weld. Forgot to put my gloves on, so as you can see, I'm trying not to burn my fingers, but doing a good job moving the clamp along. A couple of tacks here, just following where the hole is. Every now and again, you've got to clean the tip of the welder as well. And yeah, just adding a few more tacks, moving it along. We're going to get to the bottom section here where we're going to have to add some heat to it. And that'll be a fun part. We've got to try to bend that channel around the radius. So let's see how we do in just a second. Okay, so just that radius, I just heated it up with the blowtorch just to try and get it to curve, and it seems like it's working, so we'll tack the next one and then we can start to curve the last part. Let's put this one here in quickly. So I think this metal is, seems like it goes red hot really fast, so it's a good thing because it means we can manipulate it, as you can see I'm doing. Looking good so far. We'll clean up all those welds, and then we've got a brand new channel to put on. Righto, so I've spent the good part of a day getting this bonnet or hood just to align properly. Like, I just had big issues with gaps on the sides and it just all over the place. I ended up putting the handle on it, and at least now I can pull the trigger and it opens. And I mean, they're just so flimsy, these ovals. You know, you can see here, just the whole thing is just, it's like it's made out of tin foil. What I did do is I added a reinforcing, I welded another little piece inside here, because this whole lip was just cactus and it was just warping and twisting and the whole thing was carrying on. Anyway, I've got it pretty good now. I think the only area I've got to play around with is just here. This is a little bit low and I can't seem to, I think just because it's been whacked so hard here, you'll see what I mean when I shut it. But yeah, well, you'll see what it's, if I just go and shut this now. Look, I've got the latch lining up good. Got to slam it a little bit. That's locked now. And you can see that gap here is about right from photos that I've seen. It's about probably 10 mil. The other side is a little bit less. So you can see here, that's almost like 3 mil. And then down there is where it really just opens right up. You can see that. So just because of all this area here being so munted, I'm going to have to build that up. I'll probably just use some of the fibre fill on that just to bring it out. I'll see if I can try and panel beat it a bit more. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, at least this is pretty good. I've knocked a lot of the dints out of it already in this section here. Hence why it's so beat up already with the primer. I've just been sanding it and tapping it, sanding it, tapping it, because obviously from the inside you're going to see it. So it's got to be good on both sides. There's no point having a big dint here and just filling it with bog, because as soon as you pop the hood, you're going to see it from the other side. So you've really got to try to metal finish both sides of it. A couple of these little holes here I've fixed up. But yeah, it's a really slow process, you know, and I haven't even started on filler yet on that. Yeah, anyway, we'll just leave it for now. I'm sort of, you know, it's already 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I started at 9 just trying to fit this thing. So yes, it definitely erodes the time, but it's looking good. Like, that's got a nice shape to it now. We'll just have to move forward. All right, so what we've done, guys, we've just fixed this little section up here. I've had to cut that and weld it back just so we could get the gap a little bit better. So we've got it pretty much sorted now. So, you know, we'll probably just start doing some body work on top of this. Yeah, what's the problem over there? Yeah, I know. I'm trying to do good work here. I'm trying my best. What, you think you could do a bit better? You reckon you can? Oh, I don't know, chicken man. I think you need to go probably back to sleep, buddy. What do you think? Yeah, all right. I'll go back to work now. All right, let's get some body work done on this thing. Okay, so what I've decided to do is pretty much strip off the primer on this, just because I was doing a lot of body work with the porta gas thing just to try to get some of those big dents out. And of course I'm burning the primer, and then, you know, you just don't want to be going and putting new primer over the top of stuff that's been compromised with heat. So I've gone and stripped it all back, and now we've just been going over the panel, just doing some hammer and dolly work, and also using the file, and you know, obviously winding this to get your contours right, and just going over it just to make sure we're knocking most of the highs and lows out of it using the slapper and the dolly, and we've got it pretty good. Like, there's only a couple of highs on it now. On the couple of high spots just here. Just take care of those quickly. I'm not going for perfection here. I just want to get it really, like, close to being perfect, and then a skim coat of filler. And you're going to have to put filler over it anyway, so I just don't want it to be too crazy. So there's 1, 2 that are not good. It's pretty close. We'll just do this side here. Okay, so I think what we'll do now is give this a wax and grease remover and give it another coat of primer, and then we can actually start the filler work on top of this. So let's get it prepared for a quick coat. Okay, another coat of primer. Interesting, with a coat of shiny primer, you can really see all the bumps and lumps in it. But yeah, I mean, it'll obviously dull off once it dries, but at least it's showing us there's a lot of waves going on there, a lot of dints and lumps and bumps, but that's all right. We'll get going on the primer. I'm going to get the hell out of here before I fumigate myself to death. Let's go. Guys, it's time to put some skim coat filler, bog, bondo, whatever you want to call it. We'll probably just attack the really bad areas first, and then see how we go with just doing a skim over the rest of it. Okay, so we've got another skim coat down this side here, and again, it is very, very thin. Most of that will come off once I block it back and vibe it. But you know, if you want to get something super laser straight, that's what you got to do. You got to put a layer on and then sand most of it off, which is quite painful considering that's $100 for that 4 litres. This is done. We did have some issues on the other side, and I'm going to show you in just a second, because what I want to do next is put the doors on and make sure that when you do shut the door, I'll probably put a seal in too, to make sure that these are, you know, you're blocking both of them at the same time. That's going to have to come out. I can already tell it's already like V'd like that, so we're going to have to do a little bit more work on that one to get it a bit more level before we add the filler to it. Yeah, the other side, this pillar on the other side has given me a lot of trouble, and I'll show you what's happened. Basically, when I went to shut the door, you can see what's happened. This part of the jamb here was basically hitting up against the door, and I had only about not even 2 mil gap here. Swage line was perfect, was actually lined up really well, but we were hitting. So what I ended up discovering, 2 things. One, when this has been in an accident, this seam here had been pushed that way a little bit. So you can see what I've done is I've just made a relief cut straight down here and there, moved this piece in about 2 mil, which has given me the gap back again here. And I've measured it off the other side, and we have about 4 mil from the seam here to the edge, and that's what I've got here. So it's a little bit weird that it was a bit out. Obviously, I have to stitch this back up again now, but of course I've run out of wire, haven't I? I got halfway here, and I've got to go and get another thing. The other thing that was wrong was the top hinge was actually bent. So, and this is something a lot of people wouldn't even notice it, but if you look down on the hinge here, from the pivot point, you can see that this was actually kicked like that. It was bent from the pivot point here. So what it was doing is it was actually moving the door closer to this part of the jamb. So that's why it was hitting it. So I knocked the pin out. I put this into the vise and got it straight. And same with the bottom one down here. Got that one straight. Bang them back in and put the door on it. It's absolutely perfect now. I've got a nice 2 mil gap here and a nice 3 mil gap here. So happy days. All I've got to do now is obviously just weld that back up again, stitch it. This section here I played around a little bit more with the stud puller because it was just a little bit funky in this section here. And again, I'm really trying for, you know, almost no filler at all. So this is, you know, this is literally going to go a quick coat and it's done. That's going to be a lot of blocking back. Probably do that in the next episode because it's getting cold, dark, and I'm going inside to get some more food. Cool, happy days. At least she's getting there and we've got moving forward progress to get this thing on the road. So see you in another episode.